Vietnamese PM arrives in Dubai for COP28 bilateral meetings in UAE.
Nghe An attracts $115 million United States dollars FDI project to produce smart car components.
Israel resumes military operations in Gaza after ceasefire expires.
Hello, it's me, Nghe An, and so good to see you again in today's news. Vietnamese Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính just arrived at Al Maktoum International Airport, Dubai City, late November 30th, starting a trip to attend the World Climate Action Summit in the framework of 28th United States Climate Change Conference, COP28, and bilateral activities in the UAE from November 30th to December 3rd.
During his stay, Prime Minister will attend and deliver speeches at important conferences, forums and panel discussions within the framework of COP28. He will also have meetings with leaders of countries and international organizations, along with other bilateral activities in the UAE. The Prime Minister's participation in COP28 sends a strong message to international friends about Vietnam's proactive, positive, and responsible engagement in handling climate change, one of the biggest and most common global challenges. It affirms Vietnam's role and position in regional and international cooperation frameworks, as well as its consistent policy on building a green, circular economy and proactively responding to climate change. The UAE is Vietnam's leading trade and investment partner in the Middle East, with two-way turnover reaching approximately $5 billion United States dollars annually. The UAE is one of the major investors in Vietnam, with 38 projects getting underway. Vietnam currently has about 4,500 workers working in the UAE.
The investment policies for Everwin Procedan technology factory project Nghệ An had just been approved by the Standing Committee of Nghệ An Provincial Party Committee during its regular meeting. Everwin Procedan Technology Factory Project Nghệ An is invested by Everwin Procedan Technology Company Limited Vietnam in VSIP Nghệ An Industrial Park, Hưng Tây Camille, Hưng Nguyên District, on an area of nearly 16.5 hectares. The project's total investment capital is $115 million US dollars, from 100% of the investor's capital contribution. The factory, when completed, will have a design capacity of 40 million products per year for the following products: shells, components, molds, metal parts used for smart car equipment, and new energy cars. The project will be implemented in 3 phases. The first phase is expected to officially operate in January 2027. The second one is expected to officially operate in April 2028, and the third one is expected to officially operate in April 2030. The Israeli military has resumed combat against Hamas in Gaza, saying Hamas has violated the truce and fired towards Israeli territory.
In the hour before the truce was set to end, Israel said it intercepted a rocket fired from Gaza. There have been no reports of damage or casualties related to the first attack after a week of ceasefire. Israeli media reported that further sirens warning of rockets sounded again in Israeli areas near Gaza just minutes before the deadline. There was no immediate comment from Hamas. The Israeli military said its fighter jets were currently striking Hamas terror targets in Gaza. The renewed conflict dashed hopes for an extension of a 7-day truce in Gaza thanks to a temporary ceasefire agreement for the two sides to exchange hostages and prisoners. In total, 80 Israeli hostages, more than 20 foreigners and 240 Palestinian prisoners were released during the 7-day ceasefire.
Upcoming are some updated news.
From December the 1st, 2023,
Do transactions with value of 400 million Vietnamese dongs or higher have to be reported to the State Bank of Vietnam. Reporting subjects are financial institutions, organizations and individuals engaged in related non-financial businesses as prescribed in Clauses 1 and 2, Article 4 of the Anti-Money Laundering Law 2022. Specifically as follows: financial institution to perform one or several activities. Relevant non-financial businesses and professions carrying out one or several activities. Real estate transactions except real estate leasing and subleasing activities and real estate consulting services. Trading precious metals and gemstones, providing accounting services.
This morning, the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries and its allies, OPEC+, have agreed to deepen voluntary production cuts to 2.2 million barrels per day for early next year. Current OPEC Plus output, at about 43 million barrels per day, includes a cut of about 5 million barrels per day in an effort to stabilize oil prices. This time, Saudi Arabia, Russia and other members of OPEC Plus, who pump more than 40% of the world's oil, met online on Thursday to discuss supply policy. Accordingly, the reduction of 2.2 million barrels per day this time comes from 8 crude oil producers, of which the largest level comes from Saudi Arabia and Russia deciding to extend the voluntary reduction 1.3 million barrels per day.
Let's move to today's story. December 1st is the World AIDS Day. According to statistics, Nghệ An province has nearly 6,400 people living with HIV/AIDS, ranking 6th in the country. In addition, the number of newly discovered cases is about 200 people every year. With an MSM community of about 8,000 people currently and tend to increase over the time, the goal of HIV/AIDS prevention in general and the goal of ending this epidemic by 2030 is posing new challenges for Nghệ An. According to statistics from Nghệ An DCD, among the approximately 200 new infections discovered each year in the province, up to 80 to 85% of subjects belong to the group of men who have sex with men.
Most customers who come to Glink Clinic do not know anything about the ways HIV is transmitted. They almost don't care about preventing HIV in particular and sexually transmitted diseases in general for themselves and their partners.
Nghe An's MSM community is very diverse. They do not lack information or knowledge about the route of transmission and how to prevent HIV, but rather due to the subjectivity of the insiders when having sex with men. Along with that, the use of additional stimulants during sex, do not have used the safety measures or have the same sexes, frequently changing sexual partners and having other infectious diseases are the reasons which cause risk of HIV infection and sexually transmitted diseases.
Nghệ An has a policy of intervening on the MSM community through activities of distributing harm reduction means to this community, especially the members of the center have easier access and guide them to participate in harm reduction treatment programs.
This year's theme on World HIV/AIDS Prevention Day is Creative Commodity Determined to End the AIDS Epidemic by 2030. This is a big challenge for Vietnam in general and Nghệ An in particular because currently local resources for HIV/AIDS prevention are very limited, while the international projects and programs on increasing access and detecting people infected with HIV are about to expire. The last story just ended our program today. Thank you so much for your attention. Goodbye for now and see you later.